Hello there, and welcome to a brand new episode of Formula Pod. And today we are talking all about the Belgian Grand Prix. What a phenomenal race, the longest track on the circuit, and some pretty interesting action we got. Again, some clean racing, no safety cars in, which is pretty good job. Drivers drove it pretty clean, but yet there are some disappointing performances, yet some surprising ones. And of course, FIA did its job of just ruining the hype. And yeah, today we have a crew of four different teams. Of course, we have got the usual, which is Mercedes, McLaren, and Ferrari. But today we have a Red Bull perspective also joining in. And yeah, I actually got him actually during the time we went to watch the Belgian Grand Prix at the Mercedes-Benz Brand Center. So welcome, Magid, to the show.
Thank you so much, Arjun. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, can't wait to start the podcast and talk about Rebel. Yep.
Yeah, just a bit about Magid. Magid is also a professional sim racer. Okay, so you put him on one of those sims, he actually, without crushing the car, can get the lap done.
Oh, and then there's me.
Yes,
I
yes.
know.
Hopefully, yeah.
I've
No,
done a couple of sim racings, and I went for an event and I met Karun Chandok and I raced against him. And the second I was done, I told him never again.
Wow.
It's like I'll stick to watching and watching you. He's like, perfect.
Anyways, let's get the show started. And of course, I'm not going to introduce the usual ones because we should be from McLaren here, Nathan from Ferrari here, and we hear from Mercedes, and myself, Arjun from Mercedes. But anyways, let's kick it off. I want to know, like, what were your thoughts initially watching the Belgian Grand Prix? I want to start it off with the newest member, Magid. Tell me, what did you feel like watching the race?
whoa, that's a big question. I actually forgot the race, honestly speaking. I forgot. Yeah, I don't know if maybe we can do like a quick wrap up or something.
Okay,
I think the start. Yeah, the
you know
start
what?
was.
Let's
Yeah,
actually like, kind of go it off with Vishruti, since
yeah,
I'm pretty sure Vishruti has very detailedly watched the race. I'm very sure
yeah.
about it.
I did. 'Cause I was home alone, had nothing to do. I was doing my own thing. I had a me time and watch the race. But my God, what a race! I really, really, really hope that it wouldn't have gone that way. But I'm going to talk from a general perspective and then from a McLaren's perspective. A general perspective, I am so happy about how the race went for Merck, because from the beginning you could see Toto's interview pre-race. He was like, I don't know, the Red Bulls are hard to catch, the McLarens are hard to catch. We just need to see where it goes from there, right? It was a good start for Charles. Beautiful pole. Nathan had no hope.
I
Nathan
I
had
like
no
I
hope.
like the beautiful
Charles,
fall phrase. It's amazing. Beautiful fall.
Nathan had no hope that Charles would keep his pole, but he managed to do so, and it was a first, but I was very happy about that, because it's not often you see Charles keep his pole from the first lap. It started off with Max getting a 10 place grid penalty for a new power unit. He exceeded the number of units necessary, so he had to start from P11. That in itself was an advantage for the drivers ahead, especially for McLaren's and um, at that point Ferrari, and as well as the Mercs. And it was a good quality, beautiful quality. Personally, McLaren didn't do quite well, but shock in seeing Perez in the top three was quite different, but also good for him because this was something that he needed. Moving on to the race, it was an interesting race. I would say it was a good start. Hamilton had beautiful overtakes. Oscar did quite well. Leclerc lost out on a little bit. Max made up quite a lot. And in the end, George being George, he had the most amazing one-stop strategy. He was able to push. His tire management was impeccable. But sadly for him, and it's like as if the FIA has some kind of, I don't know, joy in taking out the most beautiful races and like spoiling it by disqualifying Russell. because his car was underweight by 1.5 kilos, which is very sad. It was a race that he put so much effort into, and in the end, this is what happened. You could see the emotions, and this is what it came down to. And I mean, Lewis won his 105th win, but at what cost?
I think it's pretty controversial that Russell lost with this 1.5 kg because they could easily manage his fuel consumption, Mercedes. So I'm thinking something fishy happening in the Mercedes garage because actually think about really yeah, seriously, because think about it, every time Russell has a chance to win, something so weird happens, right? Like, for example, in Silverstone, in the British Grand Prix, he had, I don't know, a water pressure failure, something like what's that? Water pressure I never heard about it. So anyway, yeah, and actually in the radio they said we are like assuming there is like a water pressure failure. So it's not like a certain water pressure failure. And also same thing happened in Belgium, like this 1.5 kg. I mean, like I think Mercedes they rarely do mistakes, especially this silly type of mistakes, like because of course they have the data, they can check the fuel, they can check the water pressure, all these type of stuff. So I don't know, I think in my opinion it's very fishy, like they just handed the win to Hamilton, which is not fair at all. So the cycle keeps happening again and again and again, and I really don't like that. Like, okay, I know Hamilton is a great guy, his status is impressive, everything, but come on, Russell is a super fast guy. He beat Hamilton so many times, so I think like he deserve it. He deserve it, and they are just, I don't know, like playing with him. So I don't think that's fair.
Like yeah, I want to get like Mihir's take on this because Mihir will give us a bit on the technical side of that particular bit though. But Mihir, what do you think?
There's so much to talk about from that race, to be honest. But I think obviously I'll talk about the highlights of that race itself, which is George Russell. I think George did a phenomenal job with the way he did and how he's supposed to do things. It's obviously a sad moment for George, but rules are rules, and rules make Formula One and sports fun, right? It's like football and cricket. When you have an offside goal, that's what makes it more interesting. Also, want to talk about the cooling effort thing. The cooling is very important for a car, especially for a Formula One car, right? A coolant in our normal cars as well. It's really important to keep the engine cold in situations where it's really hot, especially in UAE where it goes about 50 degrees. It is absolutely needed. Trust me. So a Formula One car usually has a coolant gel or a coolant liquid, and if that fails, that could cause the car to burn, the flooring to have damages, and it's a biggest safety regulation for drivers. So that's one thing that in terms of Formula One, I think everything should be aligned to a safety aspect for the driver itself. Coming back to the race, obviously, I think Hamilton's overtaking George Russell racing in the last race. Oscar
Was beautiful. Oscar
was
was amazing.
defending. He was doing everything he can in the books, obviously, and things didn't go the right way for him. But I think I still don't think, and I hate saying this, but Red Bull is still on top, and I think Red Bull and McLaren could be at the same pace. Mercedes still has time. Ferrari, let's not talk about Ferrari. I think Ferrari Ferrari can lay down for a bit. Actually, I want to ask Nathan. Nathan, what do you think about your boy Carlos going to
Williams.
what's that team? No, it's
What's the
really
team?
slow team.
What's the
Hey,
team
uh,
here? What's the team?
I actually forgot. I think it's called Tata. No, Williams. Oh, same thing. Anyway, Williams, right? Yeah, no. Sorry. I completely lost. Okay, yeah, Williams. All right.
Yeah, it's very easy to get that mixed up, right? Tata and Williams. Yeah, at this point, honestly.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, I mean it's such a shame. I've mentioned this before in the podcast as well. Carlos is such an amazing driver. A top guy in Formula One right now, driving for Ferrari. He's made his way there. He's had a pretty long career, starting from his days in Toro Rosso, and then moving to Renault, and then moving up to McLaren, which was still a midfield team, and then he got his chance to prove himself in Ferrari. But then this is definitely a backward step for him, for Carlos. But there will there will be some sort of plan for him, and I'm happy that he's staying on the grid because Formula One is a cruel sport, and it's really hard to get a position, to drive for a team in Formula One, especially even if you are a champion or a race winner. It's really hard. We've seen so many instances in the past where drivers have just lost their seat and they've never made a really good comeback in Formula One. So it's sad for Carlos, but on the flip side, it's a good thing for Williams with James Vowles as their team principal and with Alex there and with Carlos now as a new addition to the team. I really think that it's it's a big positive for Williams. We'll actually now get to see where Williams actually lies in the pecking order because let's be honest, Logan hasn't been the best driver,
Yeah.
and Alex has always been way better than him.
But
And with
actually,
Carlos as an addition, I think we would
I
see the real position of Williams and the development that they've taken
yeah,
since
but actually
since James
remember
joined the team.
remember that Logan, he won couple of Formula 2 races, right? Alex Albon, he was struggling so much when he went to Williams, right? If you
That's true.
remember. Yeah, he struggled so much. I think maybe for half a season or maybe a full season, something like that. Then he came really, really strong. So maybe Logan Sargent needs some time like to adapt to the car, to adapt to the team, to adapt to the setup. Maybe he still, doesn't really feel the car. Like it's a huge difference, of course, from Formula 2 to Formula 1. So maybe he needs some time. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, I'm not saying he's the best driver out there, but also it's a bit unfair to like judge him for just one season, I guess.
True, but then I'll also give you two more examples of drivers who have done really well in Formula 2 and have not made it in Formula 1. Mick Schumacher, F2 champion. Nick De Vries, F2 champion. See, F1 is such a cutthroat sport that if you do not perform in a given time, you're out of contention. And it's the way it is. It's a shame that we don't have 11th team in Formula 1, and this is exactly the reason why we need another team. That's a different
Mhm.
debate altogether, but it is what it is. Sometimes young guns, they come into the sport and they might have proven themselves in the junior formulas, but once they get into Formula 1, it's a different ball game, and it's hard. So yeah, it's hard to judge Logan and Nick De Vries and Mick's performance because obviously Nick is a Formula E champion, so you can't really say that he's a bad driver. But Formula One it is how it is. The sport is um, uh, made in that way. So it's
Yeah,
cutthroat, but
and
yeah,
also for Nick DeFries, actually, I thought, I think also like he didn't get a full chance. Like, I mean, come on, I don't know, 6 races or I don't know, 8 races, something like that for Nick DeFries is really nothing. Like he's a true champion. He's super fast. Remember when he drove the Williams in Monza in the Italian Grand Prix? He was
yeah,
amazing. He got points.
yeah,
Like he's
yeah. That's
impressive
true.
guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm not really sure what happened in AlphaTauri or whatever this team is. So yeah, I don't know what happened there, but I think, in my personal opinion, like he's used to this Mercedes type of cars. Like he's always sponsored by Mercedes. He always drove Mercedes powered cars. So to get into Formula One and to drive like for a completely like new team, engineers, mechanics, all that, I think that was a bit of like you know I don't know, something crazy went on. So yeah, I don't know.
Well,
It is what
again,
it is. I think.
just to kind of put in like if you're talking Nick De Vries for touring, he's actually racing for Toyota, so he is having now experience
Mm.
driving a Toyota car. But again, coming back to Formula One and coming back to Williams, Williams now officially has a lineup with appendix-free drivers.
Yeah.
No more
Let's
Yeah,
appendix.
wait.
that's
No more appendix.
Let's
Okay,
wait.
you know like how Mercedes has that hashtag world's fastest family? Williams can officially have like a hashtag no appendix here or something, you know?
Absolutely,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry. I have to ask Nathan a question. Nathan, it's a very vague question. But do you think Formula One or which formula is more competitive?
Formula 2.
Formula Two. Okay,
No doubt. No doubt.
no
Yeah.
doubt. All right, Nathan, what do you think?
In terms of what just
Overall,
pure racing.
Yeah, just overall, what do you
Overall?
think is more competitive?
See, it's really hard to judge because Formula 2 is made in such a way where all the cars they have the same chassis, the same engine, so you almost have the same car. So it's more competitive in that sense because they almost have an equal footing. Okay, maybe some teams have, I don't know, maybe an advantage because they've got good engineers, and maybe that's the difference. That's the only difference you can see there. But then in terms of real racing and real action, yeah, Formula 2 is more competitive than Formula 1.
Yep.
And I wish Formula 1 is as competitive as Formula 2 is right now, because the F2 season right now is really
It's
tasty.
amazing. It's really amazing.
Really, yeah. I mean,
A
Paul
lot of
Aaron
I feel like
hasn't won a race, but he's still,
on top.
fighting for the championship, which is
Exactly.
crazy.
Yeah, a lot of crashes happens. Amazing stuff.
Ollie last
okay.
race was
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, and also what's his name? Martin's. I forgot the
Vi-
French guy.
vi-
Victor
Victor
Martin.
Martins.
No, Victor
Victor
Martins.
Martins.
Yeah, he died last week. I'm
Ollie.
joking. Yeah, I'm joking. Yeah.
Yo, you can't joke
we
about
were
that.
reading
I was just about to be like, oh my god, R.I.P.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But I mean, he was taken out so badly, and so quick. Like,
Ollie went in him like that.
yeah, it was so, it was so crazy. Yeah, so
But I'm gonna just answer the Mia's question, right then. Again, F2 of course is competitive, but then I would say this particular season of Formula One has gotten a lot more competitive. It's no like since Canada onwards, we're seeing a trend where the pole sitter doesn't win the race.
Yeah.
You know?
It's been what, 7 races?
Do you think that FIA did something to make the races more interesting? Because let's be honest, FIA is a money-making machine. So do you think they asked Red Bull to maybe cut down on their pace to make it more competitive?
I
Would
thought
they?
I thought about that. Yeah, I actually thought about that because just suddenly, out of nowhere, Red Bull, I don't know, became like second fastest or third fastest. So
I mean, we could already see McLaren on an incline last year, and the Mercs have always come out with fairly decent cars, and so has the Ferraris, right? And they've always been on the top brass for a reason. It's just that right now, I feel like Perez not performing all of a sudden could be something that could be like red blinking lights, but other than that, Max is still a competitive driver, and I kid you not, Perez is as well. He was doing quite well this weekend, and I don't think FIA would have done something like that. I mean, I get it, like they want money, but would they
Yeah.
do this?
or
Would they
maybe
go down that low for this?
they found Red Bull, maybe, huh? I'm just saying maybe, huh? Maybe they found them cheating somehow, so they discovered it, and like what happened with Ferrari. Remember 2019 when they had
We don't talk about that. Let's go
Yeah.
on. Move.
No,
on.
no. We
Yeah.
talk about that
Yeah.
right now in this episode. And you know what? All focus on Nathan. Nathan, would you like to enlighten our listeners with that? With Ferrari's amazing plan of strategy. Please, Nathan, I really want to hear this from you. I miss hearing
I
your voice,
just want to
Nathan.
say I'm so glad you're here because I am not the goat anymore. Get eaten by the dinosaur goat.
Were you calling me the goat?
Yes.
I know I'm the goat.
Yes.
So good not to be on the hot
Yeah.
seat
Greatest
now.
of all. And
Well-
we have the goat joining our team next year, so I know. Just saying.
Ooh.
Just saying.
Should have
But
used
listen.
sheep, man.
Who's
The
that?
Indian guy. The Indian guy. Can you relax, brother? All right.
The
Or
seven-time
Tata. I don't know which one you're
Indian
talking
guy.
about. I'm so sorry.
Okay. See, so here's the thing. I'll explain it to you. It was a genius move by Ferrari where they basically took a rule and they found a loophole in it, and which basically kind of enhanced their engines. And it's as simple as that. That's what Ferrari did. They were just being too smart, and the FIA had to intervene and say, no, you can't be too smart because we have Mercedes. They need to win the championship. So
I
yeah,
have
that's my takeaway to this.
I've heard another story from FIA actually, but fair enough, we'll go with yours.
See, here's the thing. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
with these allegations of, has FIA, asked Red Bull to remove some part from their car or something like that. Back in the day, the FIA was really corrupt. Max Mosley and Bernie Ecclestone, those days were so funny. They used to work together in tandem, trying to bring down teams. And the stories that I've read about those days are so funny, and you can kind of see it happen. I mean, it did kind of happen in 2021 with I forgot who it was. Who was it in FIA?
what happened?
The race director?
Michael
Was
Massey.
it? Yeah,
He's
with
innocent.
him.
He's
So
innocent. Yeah.
he's innocent. Of course, a Red Bull fan says he's
Yeah.
innocent.
He's innocent.
Of
100%.
course.
Yeah.
Of course. So, FIS, these people have done it before. But actually, just wanted to come back to the race again. I think this was the first time that I came into, I mean, I watched an F1 race thinking that, or basically watching an F1 race where I didn't even see this result coming. Because let's be honest, in free practices, Mercedes were nowhere because they were testing out their new upgrades. And then, Arjun, if I'm not wrong, they reverted back to their old spec,
Yes.
right? So in my head, Mercedes were not in the fight at all. And I thought this was between, again, McLaren and Max. With the way how Max was, putting his laps in free practice, I thought, okay, you know what? He's going to do another comeback from P11. He's going to just pass everyone and then somehow make it to the front of the grid. I never thought Charles Leclerc would get pole. I never thought he would lead for 6 laps. And then I never imagined George Russell staying out on a one stop, and on the track he won the race. I never saw that coming. This is the first time
I
I've
think
seen the Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari, and the Mercedes all in the fight at the same time. What do you guys think?
No,
Let's be honest, no one expected George to pull that one stop.
but just to kind of add on, it's not just George. Even Fernando Alonso went on a one stop.
Yeah.
yeah, I was going to say that as well. Yeah, he's
So
impressive. Yeah.
again, Fernando Alonso has his methods and he's like a seasoned driver. Has seen what 4 or 5
Yeah.
generations of Formula One cars.
I mean,
Like
come on, he's 42 now. I think I don't know how long
he's
he will stay in
43.
Formula One. Maybe until.
He's
43, he
43.
turned 43 yesterday.
Yeah, he's racing one more year and then he's done.
Oh
That's
my.
what I was just telling Arjun and Nathan before you guys joined. I was saying he probably has like 1 year. I know his contract says 2026 and beyond, but
No,
it's probably going to be a 1 year. That's it.
he will extend it. Nana for sure. I don't know. Nana, he will
I
extend.
don't think so. I think when the regulations change after 2025, he's gone.
Or
Maybe.
I think probably he will pull Nico Rosberg. Probably win a race and then he'll be like, you know what? I'm retiring. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Again, you may not know.
The
You may not know.
probability of winning a race in that Aston Martin, I'm not too sure.
No,
It's
see,
also you also have to talk about the motivation that Alonso has as well. Because if I'm not wrong, like the past 2-3 races, Stroll has been doing a pretty good job, and I think he's been finishing ahead of Alonso.
Yeah. That's really
And-
weird.
Um,
For Stroll
no,
to do
a good
for
job, that's
this
weird.
race, apparently Alonso got a team order to let Stroll out so that he can catch who it is, Yuki. But then he couldn't catch, and they were like, "Oh, if he couldn't catch, we'll swap back the places." But that wasn't the case. And then Stroll finished in front of Alonso because technically it was Alonso had the track lead. It was again team
Mhm.
orders. Daddy Stroll's orders probably you don't know. So yeah, could be that.
Are you talking about this race or
Yes, this
the
race.
previous one?
This race.
Stroll finished behind
yeah?
Alonso.
Wait, then I'll believe it will be
I
like
think you're talking about the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Stroll was
Probably.
P11. Alonso was in the points.
Everyone.
Because
My
of that
bad.
one stop, he got into the points. Yeah, I think, Arjun, you were talking about the Hungarian Grand Prix because that was where they had to use team orders and Stroll finished ahead. And Alonso was really
I don't know what's
mad
going
about it.
on with my Instagram. I get stuff like 2 days, 1 week ago worth of content. I'm getting it again. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm
I'll
still.
tell you.
I'm still
I'll tell you
getting.
what it is, right? I'll tell you what it is. So there was a new update on Instagram where the algorithms is if you don't spend more than 5 seconds on the post, it will regenerate and come back
Oh.
to get higher. Exactly, because that's what I'm studying, and I didn't know this. So then I deliberately, if I want to see something, I leave my phone for 5 seconds and I keep scrolling because that's how they get
I
impressions and
should do
imprints.
that.
I
Yeah, so
think, yeah.
because I got Carlos moving to Williams this morning, and I was like, that was yesterday, brother. Now, let's talk about Checo Perez leaving, but he's
Skip
really
for like
not.
30 minutes. Skip. Oh my god, skip it, get it again and again.
Yeah, no, sorry, Nathan. But
What?
every time I see
Nah.
Carlos's face, I'm just like, oh, Nathan's losing one for the team.
You know what? You know what?
Oh my
You
God.
mentioned Checo, and I want to ask Magid, what do you think about Sergio Perez in this season? How is his performance like? And
Hmm.
did you think that
Bro, his
Red
face
Bull
says
would
it enough.
retain?
Yeah. Oh my god. Look, yeah. Oh my god. Okay,
His
I'm
face
gonna.
is enough.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Look, okay, I have like a love and hate relationship with this guy. Like, okay, I appreciate his talent. He's very talented. I'm not gonna lie. He's amazing. He's fast, everything. But he's not consistent. I hate that. Okay, and he's not. He's never gonna be like with Max's performance. Like he's never gonna match Max's performance for sure. Nobody is gonna match Max performance. And I don't know. I believe Red Bull is keeping his seat just because of the sponsorship, because of the money, all that. And it's not fair because because there's some people out there that are crazy talented, like Liam Lawson, for example. He's super quick. He's talented. I think he's also bringing money from New Zealand, so he's not like just a regular driver. Also, Daniel, I believe he deserve another shot at Red Bull, 100%. Especially with the points he just scored and the last, I think Hungarian GP he finished P5, something like that, right? P4, P5, something like that. So he still got it. He's still fast. He's funny guy. I love his character, and I think Daniel makes Red Bull. You know, like he's funny, his attitude, his style, all that. Like it really matches with Red Bull. So I don't know. Checo, I don't know. I think he's done. Honestly, like some people, like when they get older, they get better. Like Alonso, like Lewis Hamilton, like these people. But I don't know. I think Checo, the pressure on him and everything is too high right now. The only reason for sure that Red Bull keeps his seat is because that he's bringing money, but I don't think that's really enough to keep his seat. At least, like maybe also for Carlos, like he could have switched seats with Checo. Like Carlos is a Red Bull Academy guy, so he could have went to Red Bull and Checo could have, I don't know, been to Williams or something. Like he's experienced, he can improve the team, blah blah blah. But Carlos is still young, and he was a Red Bull Junior, and he's fast, and he's very experienced. He was in Ferrari, so I don't know. I don't know the situation really, but yeah. Hopefully something in the future happens. Maybe after 2 years or so, Carlos can jump again into the Red Bull seat. So let's see.
I have a very interesting question. But do you think, honestly, I keep going back to the fact that FIA wants to make money and how they're trying to target the US, how they're just trying to market Formula One in US, because obviously we know that NASCAR is huge in the US. So do
Mm.
you think they're keeping
Okay, cool.
Checo Perez in Red Bull to market Red Bull in the
100%.
US? Because we know that Logan is not doing that well. But Red Bull being such a big brand and Checo Perez being a driver for Red Bull, do you think that's another way to promote Red Bull and Formula One
Huh.
in the US? Because we all know that in the US, Red Bull doesn't work as big as Monster, Rockstar, Energy Level 999.
Yeah.
So there are so many brands that are C4 as well.
T4, yeah, I was going to mention that.
So
Yeah.
do you think that they're just keeping him as a marketing perspective rather than just being
100%.
he's a really good driver? I mean,
Yeah.
it's a question. It's an open question to everyone. If you disagree with me, fair enough. But That's what I think sometimes.
100%. I mean, come on, like you have the Mexican GP. It's huge. It's huge. It's like the Silverstone or the British Grand Prix for Lewis Hamilton. It's huge. He's bringing again, of course, sponsors. He's Mexican. Mexico is actually pretty big country, so they want fans. They are selling very good merchandise, all that. So yeah, again, I don't know. It's pretty difficult one to say, but for sure, like yeah, there is a reason for Red Bull to keep his seat, but I wish he can improve because sometimes in the races he's super good, but in qualifying he is terrible. He is absolutely terrible. Like Monaco, like the last GP, like even in Canada when he just spawned out of nowhere, he just touched the wet line and he crashed the car. Like he do really very rookie mistakes. I don't understand how, but I don't know. Like I think he deserves still his seat in Formula One, but not with Red Bull. Come on, Red Bull is like a top-notch team, so they need
So,
very, very
which
quick.
team do you think he would be a part of? Which team
Ah,
do you think he deserves?
wow.
Other than Red Bull.
Okay, maybe a smaller team like probably Haas. Like they are still developing their car. They need someone experienced. I think Haas they never had an experienced driver actually. Like I don't know Kevin. Okay, Kevin is good, but like he raced for McLaren. I don't know for one season or something, so he's not that. Like you need this type of experience. Like you need to be like in a big team. You know how different departments work, the aerodynamics, the engineers, all that to improve a team. But I don't know. I don't know. That's still a difficult question, but probably yeah, just
Do you think
for
that's what Carlos is doing right now with going to
Carlos.
Williams, getting his experience from Ferrari, McLaren,
Mm,
and now he's gonna start understanding everything and
yeah.
then go to Williams and be like, this is what they did. So do you think
Yeah.
that's what Carlos is doing now, or
Definitely, but also there is money involved for sure. Of course, like they offered him a bigger contract or so, so it's not only about developing. But I don't know, man. I don't know. He's just too young. Like I mean, from like career perspective, he's still too young to move to Williams because I don't think like he can make a comeback later. Probably he can, but after 2 or 3 years. But he's already kind of old. Like he's maybe 28 right now. So, to be a world champion, he need to jump really fast into a big team seat. Yeah.
Just to kind of add on to that bit, say, with Checo, Red Bull has never got into the destructors list on the top, and Checo actually has a destruction bill of $3.6 million on that RB19. Sorry, RB20. Sorry, RB20. $3.6
I
million
mean,
dollars. Again, because the amount
it's
of
obvious. I mean, the
like
stuff that he went through.
no, like literally, you see this guy out in Q1 because he managed to crash the car. In fact,
Checo?
Logan Sargent, yeah, Checo. Logan Sargent is just fourth on the list.
He's just he hasn't done much. He just doesn't go fast enough. He doesn't like crash as much, except for probably the incident in what was it? Was it Logan in Miami? Other
I'm
than
not.
that,
I'm not
I don't
exactly
think
sure.
there isn't much that happened.
Mm.
It's mainly just been Ocon and Gasly fighting each other, and Kevin, he was on a roll the first bit. It's
Well,
just mainly been Ocon, Kevin, and Checo.
I'm still really surprised. Kevin Magnussen still did some dangerous moves, yet FIA did give him those two additional penalty
It's 2
points
ones,
that
right?
because he's in that verge to kind of getting that race back. It's
sorry,
it's it's
can I just say something?
yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry to cut you off,
Yeah.
guys, but I really think that FIA should really set down on a set of rules and just settle with them. They can't just keep saying, "Oh, it's okay, it's this." Sometimes they'll be really strict, sometimes they'll be like, "Forget about it." It really annoys me because there are so many rules in such a big sport where there's so much of investment. There's half of the population watches Formula One. You have
Yeah.
to adhere to the rules. You can't. It really pisses me off sometimes.
Mm.
Like I don't know, man. Just like with the whole Michael Massey thing. Starting from Michael Massey, I have realized that you need to set down. I'm not like obviously I'm still pissed off about that. Don't get me wrong, but there's certain rules that just because you have a high authority does not make you to have that will and power to change whenever it comes to, especially a mid race. If you do it after the race, that's fine as well. if you want to change it. Mid race to change anything, I don't know. If I just
And sometimes it's on the safety of the drivers as well. We could see in Australia with the George's incident.
yeah,
The most basic thing. He was on the middle of the track, the most dangerous thing you could ever see, and cars are just passing by him and it's still not a red flag. It needed to be red flag. No VSC, no safety car. It needed to be red flagged. And the time it took, that man could have died.
I think there
Yeah.
was double yellow or something like that. I think there was some yellow flags, right?
Yeah, but a yellow flag was definitely not enough for that incident. It
Yeah.
needed a red flag.
Yeah, I agree. But actually, the accident happened so fast, and it happened in the most dangerous corner in the circuit.
Yeah,
Really,
exactly.
I hate this corner.
Exactly. That's the reason. That's the reason why they should keep an eye out. They can't do things last minute. They can't do things. At one point, it's gonna hurt someone really, really bad,
Yeah.
and that's when probably they'll realize it. If they realize it too late, then that's on them.
But actually, it's not the only mistake that FIA did. Remember in Suzuka, I believe. I can't remember if it was last year or this year. I can't really remember. But when this big tractor truck went into the track to get the car, and
It
Gasly
was
was,
last year. It
yeah,
was last year. It was last year.
yeah, what the heck? What's happening, guys? Guys, there is zero visibility. Anyone can crash. So that was really, really unsafe from the FIA. So they need to improve on that. Yeah.
I have a very interesting question for Mehdi. Obviously you have more experience driving in simulators, and it's absolutely amazing. And I just want to know, which is your favorite track, which is the most difficult track that you've driven in, and why did you? What gives you the pleasure of driving in a simulator? Like, what makes you feel like, wow, this is the closest thing to
Yeah.
a Formula One car? And I'm pretty sure amongst all of us, you have
Yeah.
the most on ground experience. So if you can just
Yeah.
enlighten all of us with your experience.
Oh, I like these type of questions. Thanks for asking me. Amazing. Oh, okay. So I think Spa is pretty good one. It's actually super difficult. Believe me. Like maybe in the TV, you just see the cars going au rouge easily.
The elevation.
Yeah, it's very easy, but on the simulator, it's really hard. And even the smallest mistakes, خلاص, you're out. Yeah. So for example, in actually fun fact, the bottom part of this elevation is called Rodillion, and no, sorry, Eau Rouge, and the bigger
Rouge.
part Rodillion, but people mistaken Rodillion with Eau Rouge, but yeah, fun fact.
Okay.
Yeah, so to get to the top of this corner, you actually need to lift a little bit. Okay, if you go full throttle, the car will understeer and you may end up in the wall. So you need to be very sensitive, and there is like a dilemma to push more or to lift a little bit and to lose track time. It's really, really hard to balance that. And also, yeah, it has, of course, fast corners, not so much slow corners, so I like that. A lot of elevations as well, which is amazing. Yeah, Monaco, I love Monaco so much. I raced in
Tight corners.
Yeah, Monaco is amazing. Is amazing and super challenging. Believe me, how if you drive on Monaco, you don't know like how many times you're gonna crash. Really, it is so crazy track. I love it. And yeah, it's also very easy to like miss the braking point in Monaco. Like for example, this I don't know, pool area. If you brake too
Yeah.
late, you will miss it. If you brake also too hard, you can lock the tires and just go straight. So it's really fun track. I love Suzuka. Suzuka is crazy, especially the first two S's. If you get the first entry wrong, خلاص, you're in the grass, you're in the in the sand, whatever. So it's pretty
How is
challenging.
Baku with the straight line?
Baku is challenging as well, but kind of boring. I don't like circuits that has so long straight lines. It doesn't really depend on the driver anymore. It just depends on
Yeah.
who has the fastest power unit.
I think out of everything, Belgium would be the toughest. First of all, the elevations. And second of all, I mean, it's 7 kilometers long.
Yeah, it's the longest. It's 7.003.
04.
exact.
7, yeah.
Yeah. I studied all the tracks. Yeah. So Spa is Spa is pretty amazing. yeah. You wanted to say something? Sorry.
No, I said you were like Kimi Antonelli. There was a video that came out on the internet,
Yeah.
when Kimi remembered all of his lap times
Mm.
from like 4 years back. He was impressing everybody. My God, he remembered not just his. He remembered Ollie's from like last year and this year. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So you're like Kimi. You know each and every single thing. It's amazing.
Yes. Actually, Kimi last race, if you saw it or you saw the highlights, he was squeezed too much from
Mhm.
another guy, before entering Eau Rouge.
Yeah, that was such a beautiful overtake. My God,
Yeah.
I've never seen something like
He's
it.
so brave. He's so brave, and I believe he will get the Mercedes seat very soon. Really, like 100%,
I hope he
100%.
does.
Yeah, he will get it after Lewis leaves. Yeah, and he deserves it. Actually, he's pretty quick driver, so he deserves it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm actually very excited to see this battle between Russell and Antonelli. They're gonna kill each other.
Yeah,
So
just gonna cut it off here because we're having a bit of a time situation. But Mihir, you had something to ask though, so shoot on.
Yeah. So a quick, easy question. Do you? I mean, I'm pretty sure you've memorized all the tracks. So, do you remember when you're gonna switch gears and how many times have you switched gears in your head? Like, have you memorized that? Like, how many times you switch gears?
no, I'm
No?
gonna
Okay.
I say but
Okay,
the thing is, sorry to interrupt, but the thing is, it actually changes every lap, because sometimes you have a hard tire, so you have less grip, so you need to shift more. Sometimes you have the soft tire, it depends. Sometimes you have less fuel, so again you need to shift maybe more. So I don't know. Sometimes you are fighting with some guy, and then you late brake too much, so you need to get to the first gear, to enter the corner like sharper. It depends. But I don't really count. I feel it actually. It's like more of a feeling kind of thing, not like I don't really calculate it in my head. I just feel it. Yeah.
Okay, that was my question. Thank you so much. That was,
I think let's just jump back onto the Belgian Grand Prix because again we've spoken a lot about Maggot today. In fact, it's more like Maggot got his own bit. Just to kind of get onto the track side perspective. Um,
Yeah.
with again in the post race comments, Lewis actually mentioned that he wasn't informed that George Russell is doing a one stopper. Do you think within the team is that something which is healthy enough? Again, I know what George is trying to kind of establish his reign right now. Lewis's final year, and George again trying to be the bigger person and trying to get the advantage and stuff. But do you think ethically it is right that okay, you have your other car coming in, potentially closing on to a win on track, but then he is just realizing he's basically competing against his teammate. I want to start this off with Nathan. What do you think?
See, I mean, I think Lewis at this point, he needs to understand that he is not anymore part of that. I mean, technically, yes, he is in the team as of the present, but they have to look forward to the future. But if you're talking in terms of present in this race, yeah, the team should have informed Lewis for sure, definitely, because at the end, there's still a championship to fight for. And, Lewis's team would definitely want to finish ahead of George's side of the garage. So regardless of whether if he's leaving the team or he's not, there is still a championship that's still active this season. And with the way how things are going, you never know. Mercedes can, even though it's pretty late, it's halfway through the season, they could make a late title charge, and all these small calls could help them in the drivers championship, to get second or to get third possibly. So yeah, they should have informed Lewis for sure.
I'm just also going to ask Mihir as well because Mihir, you've been following Mercedes for quite a long time, and is this some sort of that trajectory where that initial races they don't perform well, and then closer to summer break, and then post summer break they actually get the equation right, and then they charge on?
I mean, there's multiple sayings to this, but I feel like obviously with the new regulations and Red Bull being so ahead of every other team, it's a setback for Mercedes for sure. When you see someone going ahead so far, the team is motivated. Oh, we gotta beat this team. We have to be as good as this team. obviously there's also some setbacks to this where a team is demotivated. They don't have that feeling, and not winning races like they used to. So the team is very desperate. So with all means, they would do anything to be in that position at Red Bull. I think it's with every team, not every team, but Mercedes doesn't have that kind of history
Okay.
where they would slack maybe in the first few races, first 3 to 4 races, they're getting used to the new car, the new regulations, the weather conditions might be very different. But it's a very difficult process to be competitive and when you keep upgrading the car because you don't know what might be next. So yeah, I mean with Mercedes, it's been quite difficult few years now, and I really hope for the next few years that they would improve not just the way they race but also the politics between each team.
Okay.
With McLaren, the McLaren, the engines and everything, because we all see that McLaren's doing much more better than Mercedes. So I think there's some. Yes, I see you smiling, Bish. Can you relax? Jeez.
But yeah, I'm just gonna also come down to Maturity as well. In short, just give me. Do you think that what you call in terms of race performance, you're
Hmm?
seeing Oscar being the bigger guy than Lando?
Oscar has been doing really well. I know Lando's been there for a really long time, and what you guys would think is, I would say that no, Lando's always the best, but I honestly feel like Oscar has been doing immensely amazing this well. The fact that this is just his second year in Formula One and he's doing an impeccable job with the car. He's showing how much the car is, he's showing how well the car works. He's actually challenging Lando. And sometimes he's coming out on top. It's beautiful to watch. I thought that I would never like I would always be like Lando first and then the other driver, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore for me. Honestly, like either of them, if they do well, I feel like I would be genuinely happy because he's doing an impeccable job. He's challenging not just Lando but other drivers as well. You could see in Belgium he was challenging both Mercs. At one point, I thought he was gonna come out on top. His pace was that fast, and I don't know. He won. He winning Hungary, doing
That's
amazingly well in Belgium.
debatable.
It
That's debatable because because Lando had to slow down a lot.
Lando had to, yeah, Lando had to, but I mean, you can't take away his win from him, right? He still won. He still put in that, he pushed as
Uh,
much as he could. But
on track, Lando won. On track, let's be honest, he won. But okay, Oscar
yeah,
again, he did because he had pole position, he was leading, blah blah blah.
oof.
But yeah,
No,
I'm
and
but
I
still proud of Oscar. Every single time Oscar's in the front 2 rows, you could see him maneuvering beautifully and taking the lead. So he's been
yeah
doing a wonderful job at that, and honestly, kudos to him.
yeah he deserved it. He deserved to have a win for sure. So yeah, I'm still
you
happy for him. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy for Oscar for sure. Yeah.
but I personally feel Oscar is more of a calm-headed dude.
He's like Kimmy. He's like Kimi Raikkonen.
No,
Yeah,
Kimi
definitely.
Raikkonen is definitely on another stage. You cannot compare Oscar
He's
with Kimi
he's
because
leading up to that. I
because
feel like he's leading up to. You can see him
again.
having the very similar mannerisms.
We should like again. There may be, but then Kimi Raikkonen as
I'm not
as
comparing
game.
him with Kimi because
No, no,
Kimi is
no.
like up there, but like
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Kimi is up there, and Kimi basically his attitude is I don't give any shit. Just give me the car,
that's
I will
true.
drive, and move on.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, none of these drama stuff going on. Whereas I feel Lando's racing style is trying to be more like Max Verstappen's, being a lot more
I
aggressive
can
on the
see that.
and
Aggressive. Yeah,
again
exactly.
and again like say I will say with Lewis for example, Lewis again I'm not saying Lewis isn't aggressive, but Lewis's aggressiveness is more like he's a very clean racer.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but guys, I think Lando is not honest. I like Lando, okay? I love him so much, but I think he's not pretty clean. Remember in Red Bull Ring, Austria, I think last year, when he was fighting with Hamilton and no, sorry, in
Austria.
no, in Brazil, Interlagos, when he was fighting with Daniel and he pushed him out of the track. You remember? He hit him from the side pod, I think. No,
Wait,
it
did we
was
push Daniel off track?
wait. Oh my god, I forgot. I think it was Charles, right?
Yeah,
Guys, come on, help me.
Charles
Who have we been with?
Nathan, interject, please.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Please don't bring up the Brazilian Grand Prix last year because Charles DNF'd in the Formula.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Thanks,
who?
Nathan.
Sorry,
Thanks for
who?
helping.
Sorry, which team is
Charles,
that?
Mihir, stop talking. I didn't ask
Sorry,
you.
okay.
Brother.
I forgot. Sorry, Ferrari, right? Tata, right? Same thing. Anyway, okay.
Tata.
Wow.
No, but yeah, Lando. Look, I mean, the drivers are there. They're pretty good. And McLaren have. I mentioned this like literally every podcast. They have had the fastest car for the past 6-7 races. But a driver's aside, I really think that McLaren need to do a better job, and I'll give you my reasons. They've had the fastest car for 6-7 races, and how many of those races have they converted to wins? It's not a lot, and they clearly have had the fastest car. Period. I mean, you saw Oscar Piastri's pace at Spa, unbelievable pace. I mean, you give them maybe 2 more laps, I think he would be. I think he
P1.
could be P1
That's
because
what
he
I
had that much
that's
of
what I thought
he
too.
had that much of pace. Decision making, strategy calls. Those are the things that McLaren need to work at.
Strategy
And
calls, definitely. Oh, they
because
just
if
royally
there is
messed
anything,
up.
Remember
if there's
Sochi?
anything that's messing up their championship, I mean, not that it is gonna, because Sergio Perez is now part of Red Bull, so I think they've lost the constructors. If I'm being honest, but if Sergio was doing a really good job, and if Red Bull had two of their cars finishing at the top, I really think McLaren would be in trouble. They need to make up some ground, definitely in the second part of the season,
Yeah.
because the drivers are doing a pretty good job for sure.
They really are. Right? Like even last week, I was telling you guys, right, that drivers did quite well. They did a good job. Lando should have given the space a little bit more earlier, which he didn't. But I'm not going to scrutinize him for that. He thought he was going to win, but the strategy should not have been dealt with so awkwardly. It should have been dealt with a little bit more better. And I think Oscar's win could have been more filled with a little bit more pride than what was given to him.
Yeah, I think
So
McLaren should hire Hannah Schmitz, the Red Bull senior strategy.
they should let Hannah go.
I agree with him. I absolutely agree.
Yeah,
They should let Hannah go for that. We would love her, but
at least for a freelance for one race. Remember Sochi? Yeah, Russian Grand Prix 19, I think. Oh my god.
Ooh, Sochi.
Yeah. I'm still feeling so bad for Lando.
Sochi was pain. I'm just glad Lando did not pull a Belgian. Remember, was it the 2021 Belgian Grand Prix where he crashed and it was a bad crash? Vettel came, the quali, not the actual race.
2021.
I was praying entire quali. I'm like, do not let it happen because it was raining too.
Yeah. I hate this. Radillion or Eau Rouge, like whoever crashes in this corner, khalas, he's done.
Pain, absolute pain. His car was total there. I was so scared. I was like, let's not repeat it, Lando Norris.
Right.
But actually, I feel this podcast is so Arabized the minute this guy says "Khalas." No, I'm like,
maybe that's what we need.
I know, because it doesn't in English language. It doesn't have like an alternative. Khalas means khalas. So I like to use khalas too much.
Doesn't have that punch.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's surprising that Nathan, being a Ferrari dude, telling strategy is something to improve.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Have you been watching the race? What? What strategy? Yeah, I'll admit. Yeah, they have not been. To be honest, they've had a big improvement since Binotto. You have to admit that. But yeah, I mean, McLaren still need to buck up. They have the fastest car, so they need to win the constructor for sure.
But yeah, okay, I'm gonna take going to wrap this up soon. But yeah, Mattia Bonotto starting race in Zandvoort. We will see him on track with Kick Sauber as the chief technical officer.
Really?
Yes.
Are they gonna get points finally?
My friend, I think, Magad, you are really late on knowing these news. I think.
have work, man. I cannot keep up with the news. I'm sorry.
Habibi, we all have work.
I know, but I have more pressure in work. So
Guy, do you know this guy actually makes me feel like this guy? He's like Checo Perez, being like, "Oh man, I've got too much pressure at work. Don't disturb."
yeah. I'm like Checo
Uh,
right now.
uh,
Yeah.
but but yeah. If for example, Mattia Binotto manages to get that Sauber converted Audi into a really good team, trust me, to the prancing horse, that's going to be such a what do you call disappointment that they took such a great engineer and
Hmm.
just like kick them off straight
Yeah.
off. But yeah,
But guys, I think actually Mattea wasn't really the problem, because if you remember, he was Michael Schumacher engineer. If you remember, like from back in the days, he was a pretty good engineer, and he stayed in Ferrari. I don't know for God knows how many years. I don't know, maybe 15 years or so. So he's pretty good and talented guy. So I don't think, like, suddenly he lost all his genuinity, how to say that
mhm.
word,
Yeah,
anyway.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah, and he's genius, all that. So I'm not sure, maybe the pressure, maybe the team structure wasn't really good at his time, the strategy, whatever. So a lot of things has played, roles in at that time.
Yeah. So on
Yeah,
that terrible disappointments, thank you
also
so.
Sebastian Vettel.
Go on. Sorry, you were not allowing
Yeah,
you
yeah,
to
for
wrap up. Go
sorry.
on.
Yeah. So I was saying that also Sebastian played a big role, because he suddenly dropped in performance heavily. Heavily. You remember 2000, I don't know, 2021, something like that. He had two pretty bad seasons. So, and Charles was doing pretty good. So I don't know. I don't know. Formula One is crazy sport. I don't know. I don't know anymore what to say. Yeah.
But yeah, just I'm gonna give like everyone 60, no, like 30 seconds. This past 14 races we have done, we have got 10 more races for the season to wrap up. What do you? How do you outlook the season? Starting off with the Shruti, you've got 30 seconds. Go.
Uh, Mark is coming back. Ferrari's also, I think, coming back. Red Bull retaining Checo, they're probably gonna be the same. McLaren, if they don't mess up their strategy, if they keep doing this with their strategy, I think it's gonna remain the same. But it's still gonna be a fight between Red Bull and um, McLaren. And if they better their strategy, they're winning the constructors. And I think we'll finally see some points in Kick Sauber.
Okay, fine, Nathan.
It's going to be a wonderful end to the. It's going to be a wonderful end to this. To the season. We finally have a championship. McLaren, Red Bull. It's amazing. Formula One is at its peak right now, and I can't wait for Logan Sargent to win the Las Vegas Grand Prix and Arjun to shave his beard off.
All Kota.
Yeah.
Okay, Mahir.
I think for the last few races, all the teams have come to a respectable level of how they should be performing, and Mercedes is coming up really well. Red Bull's, I wouldn't say downgrading, but I think they're being competitive with other teams now, which is a very nice sight to be in. I love this position. I love the way they are now actually thinking about how they can win races rather than comfortably sitting down and thinking.
Mhm.
I remember this meme that came out that Max Verstappen had a TV on his steering wheel and he's watching Netflix because it's that easy to win races. So also, so a lot of my listeners actually asked me if I would still be a Lewis fan even when he goes to Ferrari. Nathan, I'm gonna be with you on this. I am gonna be not gonna switch teams. I'm still gonna be a Mercedes fan, but I am still a Lewis fan, and I might just convert a few things in my room.
You were switching to McLaren. What happened?
It
No,
looks better. Everything looks better in red, brother. I'm telling you. Red is the color.
okay, okay.
Everybody's a
color.
Ferrari fan, even if they are not.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm not a Ferrari fan. I'm a
Maybe
driver
you-
fan for Lewis.
You betrayed me.
No. Orange is very close to red, right? So
Hey, what the hell?
all right, Arjun, let's hear it from you, man.
No, so I want like Magid's opinion as well. Like in 30 seconds, what do you think about the season? Then I'll say my verdict on this.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good season until now. It's very competitive. Like in the last, I don't know, 5 years or so, it's one of the most competitive races, seasons. Of course, Max Verstappen will be a world champion. That's like guaranteed already. So yeah, yeah,
No,
hundred
it's
percent.
gonna fight.
Believe me, yeah, yeah, he
I
will be
hope.
world. Yeah, Mercedes improved a lot, which is impressive. It's really nice to see them again back on the top. McLaren also improved a lot, which is amazing. I'm happy for Charles to finally get his win in Monaco, which was really, really, really good. Uh, yeah, a lot. I think also, yeah, a lot of teams has improved since probably last year. And yeah, I'm happy also to see like some shakedown on the drivers market, which is also interested. So yeah, I think also 2026 is gonna be a pretty good season. So can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'm going to give my bit about the season. A pretty interesting start, of course, with Max Verstappen coming in. But then, like, yeah, again, this is basically one of those seasons where top out of the top four teams, what do you call seven different winners, which is, of course, a really great thing. Last time we saw something like this was in 2012. Um, and literally, like the Belgian Grand Prix top 10, literally all the top 10 drivers are race winners, actually,
Mm-hmm.
in different races. Like in that seven already won it. And then the remaining three in the previous years or something, they have actually made it. And it is getting a lot more interesting to watch Formula One because it's not because I remember the event like the initial seasons, the initial episodes of the season. Me and Mihir were dreading around, being like, okay, we are going to quit being Mercedes fans, and now Mercedes
I
being
remember.
really basically getting its act together is something really which is really reassuring. And again, I feel like they were actually losing sand under their foot, being like, okay, fans are going to go down to other teams because McLaren being coming up, pretty impressive, coming on par with Red Bull. But I remember this one quote which Christian Horner said in Drive to Survive, where it was the Mercedes domination era. He's like, every domination will have an end date. And I am seeing that end date for Red Bull right now,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because it is coming down, because you can dominate, but then there is that one fine day that domination will come to an end. And again, with this current regulation, Adrian Newey was one of the main factors getting that car as aerodynamically efficient. The next regulation change comes back in 2 years, and and I'm pretty sure if not Adrian Newey, who's basically going to come and design the car, God knows. But how efficient will that be? That is a question we will only get the answer in 2026. But yeah, it's pretty exciting, pretty uh, interesting race. At least now it is not a predictable one. It is unpredictable coming up. So, uh, actually spooked to see what is there for the next 10 races. Probably, I don't know, a title fight in Abu Dhabi is something I would really watch. A
I
title fight
need
in Abu Dhabi.
2021 again.
Imagine,
2021.
yeah, imagine Lando and Max fighting for the world title in the last corner, same points again, pushing Lando for the win and becoming world champion. Pff, that's gonna be nuts, man.
I will throw a party. If like, I kid you not, I will throw a party. Arjun, I will buy you tickets to
Whoa!
London and we will celebrate here in F1 Arcade.
Thank you so much.
Okay, 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 okay. Thank you, thank you,
Okay,
thank you.
I might
This
switch.
is
I
this
might,
is this is recorded. This is recorded, and
yeah, save it.
and this is recorded.
Damn
And if you change your word, the listeners are going to basically hate you.
Yes. Yep.
Damn
But
it,
yeah,
I'm not doing anything today.
Yeah.
but yeah. On that terrible disappointment, thank you so much for tuning on to another episode of Formula Pod. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And our podcast is available across all the different platforms. Please support us on our Instagram page, formula.pod. Until then, this is the entire crew from Formula Pod signing off. Goodbye.